So if you've watched this channel for any length of time and have two brain cells to rub together, you know that we are big fans of General Manager Kwesi adofo-mensah. We like the new analytical approach, and we like the way that Kwesi is going to be remaking this rooster this offseason and making all the right moves and all that stuff. So this video is going to come across as like, oh, why are you hating on Kwesi? It's exactly what's going to happen. It's exactly what's happened on the old social media when we put this idea out there. But just calling a spade, the 2022 class, well, the 2022 draft in general broke about as bad as possible for Kwesi adofo-mensah in that his draft class was either injured, didn't get the time of day, or was Ed Ingram, and the picks that he passed up on thrived. So going through the draft class. But hey, again, eyes up here. Eyes up here. I support Kwesi adofo-mensah. That's all. This isn't hate. This is literally just objectively stating what happened, and it sort of is what it is. But and also, no, after one season, a draft class does not a bust make, right? All that stuff. So getting that out of the way, whatever. But look at the class. So Lewis Cine, obviously can't control breaking his leg over in London. I think that he's going to come back stronger than ever. And as we've said, there's 5 players in this class: Cine, Booth, Asamoah, Evans, and Atamuo, who could be starters and contributors on this new rebuilt defense. So don't write off this class after one season. I mean, look what happened with KJ Osborne after 1 year, where he was benched thrice on special teams, and as well as didn't get the time of day on offense. Now he's in line to be the Vikings wide receiver too. Andrew Booth Jr. had injury issues. That's why he fell to the second round. The first round talent, but he's got to be able to stay on the field. Ed Ingram played every single snap on offense, which, I don't know. Started 18 games, 63 pressures allowed, 11 sacks, stepped on Kirk Cousins' foot like 4 times, whatever. Asamoah should have got the time of day over Hicks and maybe even over Eric Kendricks, but 17 tackles, forced a fumble, and recovered it himself against the Giants in the regular season. Caleb Evans showed a lot of promise before he suffered the 19,000 concussions. Hopefully he's going to be good to go. Asazi Atamuo, he was getting some run when there was injuries to Bullard and Diesel Dalvin Tomlinson. I do think that he deserves more of a look. Then you do have Ty Chandler, who had a thumb injury, played some special teams. I think that he could be a big part of the running game going forward. Vidarian Lowe certainly has some potential as, at minimum, the swing backup tackle, mainly played on special teams. Jalen Naylor, I think, showed a couple of flashes, caught that fake punt from Ryan Wright, 9 for $179 and a touchdown on 12 targets this year. Nick Muse played 10 games on special teams, and then UDFA Ryan Wright was frankly the best punter in the NFL. So you're looking through the class. I mean, Wright is the gem, and he wasn't even a draft pick, but you look through the all the selections, and it's just like there's so much potential there. You can't give up on these guys after one season, especially guys like Cine, guys like Booth, guys like Asamoah, guys like Evans, and Ed Ingram. I don't think that he should be handed a job next year, but he certainly can compete, and I think that he can turn this season into a positive from all the experience that he got, a little bit of a baptism by fire. But especially on the defensive side of the ball, I think this class is going to contribute very soon to the Vikings' rebuild effort on that side of the ball. But looking at some of you can't escape the trades. So the Vikings were originally at 12. They traded down with the Lions, getting 32, 34, and 66. They spent 66 on Asamoah. They spent 32 on Lewis Cine. 34 they traded to the Packers, and also Vikings gave up their second round pick, number 46 overall. Then they traded the Packers number 34, which they used on Christian Watson, and then picked up 2 second-round selections, which was a fantastic trade by all the metrics and all the charts at 53 and 59. So now the Vikings, looking at the players that they passed up, right? So now obviously you could do this with every pick and every single draft, it's whatever. But the fact that it happened so immediately, you're just like, So Jameson Williams, obviously recovering from the ACL, didn't really get much going this year. 1 catch for 41 yards, a touchdown on 8 targets. Of course, the touchdown was against the Vikings, Week 14, and he also had a 40-yard run against the Bears Week 17. Jordan Davis, that's just the rich getting richer, where the Eagles have racked up and stacked up that defensive line, but Jordan Davis only had 5 starts, had a midseason injury, but 18 tackles, 72.4 PFF run defense grade, is going to be the future nose tackle of the Super Bowl participant Eagles. Kyle Hamilton, who, the Vikings were in the market for a safety. They took Cine at 32. Cine got hurt. Kyle Hamilton, there's a lot of detractors about Hamilton because of the way he tested, but he was a unicorn. 2 sacks, 5 passes broken up. He was literally PFF's number 1 graded safety this year. Not among rookies. among all safeties in the league. He played really well this season. Tyler Linderbaum, yeah, undersized center, and a lot of people were just like out on that. It's like, oh, yeah, undersized Bradbury. Why would you have undersized Linderbaum? Even though Linderbaum has himself an ass and some anchor, man. He was PFF's number 4 run blocking center in the league. Again, not among rookies in the league. Then you have Christian Watson, 41 catches for 611 yards, 7 touchdowns on 66 targets. Also had 2 rushing touchdowns. So he contributed as a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. You know, the pride of NDSU is a bit of a physical freak. So, I mean, overall, you know, like we said, again, this is not hate on Kwesi at all. I believe in the process. I believe in what they have going on. But in terms of just puck luck, I mean, the Vikings were bereft of it this year, where all the guys that the Vikings passed on either showed a lot of promise or were stars in their own right, right out of the gate. And then the Vikings draft class, like we said, it was either injuries, they didn't get the time of day, or they were Ed Ingram. So it's kind of rough there. But again, like I said, seeing Booth, Asamoah, Evans, Otomowo, that's at least 5 starters or high-level contributors to the new defense. Ed Ingram could improve year 2. I think that Ty Chandler could get in the mix. Jalen Speedy Naylor could be a nice wide receiver 3-4 eventually. Ryan Wright is obviously the best punter in the NFL. In NFL history, by the way. Screw you, Ray Guy. So, again, I have high hopes, but I mean, you can see why, you know, some people are poo-pooing on Kwesi in the 2022 class, even though obviously after 1 year, it's way too soon to just be like, oh, writing off. No, this ain't that scenario. But again, it is kind of rough just to see how the class panned out, and also seeing what happened around the picks that the Vikings, you know, players that the Vikings could have had, but is what it is. But even though the Vikings are a little bit short on 2023 draft picks, like I said, they're basically getting a free rookie class because I think pretty much the entire 2022 class had a red shirt. So they'll be back after it. But again, believe in Kwesi, believe in the process, believe. But your thoughts are thoughts. The 2022 draft broke about as bad as possible for the Vikings. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.